Howdy everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with the chicken tractor, and I'm assuming that's why you're here too. This was a fun one. It was a real learning experience for me. It was actually, to be honest with you, it was a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but it's not that bad. It just was, I had some challenges that I didn't quite foresee in getting some of the stuff to fit and that kind of thing. But it was still a good experience building it out. And I'm glad you're here to learn. This video is going to be a bit of a doozy. I think it's going to be clocking in around 45 to 50 minutes. So what I'm going to do is down in the About section, you'll see time codes to help you jump to each section. So if you've already seen certain portions of it, you can skip past those, or you can go back to them if you want to refresh yourself and see how I did it and how the challenges I faced. Also, in the actual video itself on YouTube, there might be bookmarks. I don't know yet. I gotta figure that out. But for sure, in the About section, you will see the time codes. So use those to help you navigate the video, because like I said, this is going to be a longer one, and I'm glad you're here. If you're looking at the video and you see a red subscribe button, go ahead and hit it and subscribe to the channel. If it's already white or you're already subscribed, welcome back, and I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you back here, and maybe we can learn together. So let's get started. It's winter right now. You can't tell by the winter wonderland out there. It looks bright and sunny, but believe me, it's about 32, 34 degrees outside right now. I figured now's a good time to go ahead and get the chicken tractor going. Because the idea is I'm gonna go put it outside, and where I'm gonna have the garden in the spring, so the chickens can go ahead and till that bit up, so it'll be good. Now, wood prices right now are they're still kind of high, so I'm doing it with scrap wood that I have laying around. Now I'm gonna show you what that is in a second, but altogether the wood costs that it would cost if you were to make it yourself without the scrap wood would be about 45, 50 bucks. So just you can price it into it if you want to kind of recreate what I'm doing. For wood, it's going to be about 45, 50 bucks. And I'll explain why here in a second once I show you the actual wood pieces. So, you know what? Let's hop down there and I can explain it. All right, so over here, we've got these panels here, and what these are actually, bleachers that I'm repurposing. They're from an athletic club, and I have been repurposing some of these for my use. Instead of being tossed out, well, they're being productive. But because they're former bleachers, they have been treated and stuff, and that's important because it's going to be on the ground. So if you're doing this yourself, you're going to want to buy pressure treated wood, and that's for the same reason. It's because if it's going to be on the ground, it needs to be treated. If you put regular wood on the ground, just studs or whatever, it'll eventually rot. And it'll probably be fine for a year, maybe two, but eventually it will rot and it'll fall apart, and you'll have to rebuild the whole thing. The pressure treated will last a lot longer. Might not last forever, but it will last a lot longer. So be sure to do that. And like I said, the pricing for the wood around here, pressure treated, is about $9.50 a piece. I'm using these pieces right here. They are 6 feet each. So if you're going to go buy it, you can probably buy 8-foot sections. $9.50 for 8 foot, and then you can kind of divvy up how much you're going to need for that. So keep that in mind if you want to follow along at home. To connect these, you could buy brackets, which I do have in case this doesn't work, left over from I think the Chickencoop. But what I'm going to try doing is these scrap wood pieces right here. I've got 4 from whenever I built my little raised bed garden. I've got 4 left over, which is perfect for 4 corners. So what I'm going to try doing is screwing the wood in to these to connect them. And I've just got screws left over from, I have no idea what, but they should work fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and try and talk along as I do this. Yeah, so let's get going. So the first thing you're going to do is drill pilot holes or little starter holes into all your wood, because if you don't, you're more likely to split the wood, and we don't want that. So I'm just going to get these little drill bits out. Try and match up the size so it's a little tiny bit smaller than my screws. Not sure if that's the proper way, but it's worked for me. Yeah, so this will work. What is that, like an 8? That's like 1/8. Or what is that? Yeah, it's like 1/8. All right. Now, I think it goes without saying, I am by no means a professional. You can say I'm a professional amateur. I think that'd be a fair assessment. So, if I'm doing stuff wrong or I'm kind of cutting corners, that's just par for the course, man. That's just how I roll. So, now luckily all these are pretty flat on the bottom, so I'm gonna line these two up. Probably should have got knee pads too. This hurts. The only downside is these are a little bit warped, so they're not perfectly flat on the bottom. Like I don't know if you can tell. Let's see. You can see how it's a little warped. Even if I lay it flat and flush over here, it pops up some right there. That's kind of the risk you take with scrap wood. So, I mean, it's going to be on the ground, so who cares? I'm gonna have a skirt around it as well, so I don't have to. Anything that tries to get through, it won't matter anyway. All right, well, let's get going here. Let's get going. So, what I'm gonna do is set them both up here, so I can have a flat surface to drill down on. Like that. This should be good. Here we go. More. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so you can see right here. So you can see right here, I kind of have them offset a bit. Not perfect, but you know, it should be fine. But they're offset to try and, you know, spread the load out, I guess. Okay. All right, first one seems to be good. Do the bottom one now. last one. Okay. All right. That seems to be pretty good. I guess the only thing I gotta worry about is making sure I don't hit, as I come in over here, hit the screws, but I should be able to space it out so I don't do that. So we'll see. And while I have it set up, I might as well go ahead and do these over here. I should have drilled pilot holes while, yeah. Oh well, I'll swap this out again. Yeah. All right. Check it out. So that's looking pretty fine. Let me go ahead and do this side now. That should be good. Okay. I'm kind of doing this the long way because I'm swapping back and forth, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some screws in here to hold it in place while I do the other ones because it keeps wobbling and I won't get a good alignment if I don't do this. So, and I mentioned it's also like 32, 34 degrees out here, so my hands are a wee bit numb as I'm doing this. All right, no splits or anything, so I think that one was good. No splits there either. Pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. I know this is not the most efficient way to do this, but it's just the way that makes me feel the most secure doing it. So, y'all just gonna have to get over it. There's a staple in this. See? Staple. And go for it. Okay. You can see there. Got them done. Okay. Now I'll go back and put a couple more screws in once we're finished. This is just about getting it. This is just about getting the basic them secured so I don't have to worry about everything falling apart while I'm working. Of course I had it propped up. Ah, dang it. This is Future Chris here editing the video. Turns out all the raucous activity knocked my mic loose for the next little bit, so I'm going to give you nice music while I move forward through here. I could probably explain what happened here. I had the board propped up on another board, so it was a little off angle. I was able to fix it later on. Once it's all done, I actually do go back and fix a lot of the screws off camera, so you don't see that bit, but I do get everything lined up properly. If you're doing it yourself, just be sure to, make sure everything's level and on the ground when you start screwing in, because
it cost me a little bit of time having to go back and redo some of the stuff. It's all fine now. You saw the end result here at the beginning, so you know it all turns out fine. But it was a little bit of a learning experience, like I said, for me. So I guess I'm just going to fast forward while we work on it and hit some smooth background music. All right, I'll see you on the other side. Right, there she is. Now, all that's left is to pick her up and see what happens. Little wobbly, but hey, it's draggable, pushable. I think it's going to be just fine, which is good, because, yeah, that's only, yep, it's going to be good. So, my plan is to put a, like hoop over it, like PVC or something. I don't have those right now, so with the magic of editing, I'm going to cut to when I do. So it's the next day, and I've gotten the poles I need, some fencing, so we can go ahead and get this next part on. It's warmed up some, so I've moved outside. Well, I've moved out of the garage into the sun, so there might be a little bit of a heavy sun here, but it's warmer. What are you gonna do? So, well, what we've got, let me get that up. What we've got are these PVC pipes. Now, the idea is what we'll do go like this. And so the end result will be stuff, and it kind of curves out. So, should be pretty good. I have a couple of options. I try to look and see if I want to do it on the outside or the inside. And my thought is, if I do it on the outside, I have these little brackets that's going to hold them together. My thought is if I do it on the outside, it'll be constantly fighting against that bracket. But if I do it on the inside, it'll help, the actual wood will help brace it in. So I'm going to do it on the inside. that's just something to consider when you do it. You'll see what I mean here in a second, but that's just a thought I had. These are the little straps I was talking about. The tube is going to go around it like so to hold it in, and then we'll screw it in with these little holes. My thought is these 1/2-inch screws should work fine for this. I don't want to go too long because of, you know, the thickness of this. I think it's like 3/4 inch, so any longer than really 1/2 inch is going to go out the side, I'm guessing. So I'm gonna put them as low as possible down there, as low as I can, so I have extra space to bend. I think any higher I'm gonna have issues because it's gonna, as it curves up, it's gonna want to, you know, pull it out. So I have plenty. I'll add more if I need to or if I can, but I'm gonna start with just this one as low as I can. So we'll see how it goes. Cool. Okay. Right there. Now I bend it over and try the other side. Luckily, I think it'll be easier because it's got some pressure against it, so I can just, it'll be easier to do, to line up the little bracket. Right. Moment of truth. We'll see if this works. Yeah, boy, look at this. All right. Check it out. Got over there, and then over there. All right. Come out. Looking good. And then once I have the actual fencing on there too, it'll also help hold it in place. So that should be good. All right, I'm gonna do these next ones here. I'm gonna speed up a bit while I do it so you're not sitting here watching me fiddle with this whole thing. All right, here we go. let me tell you, that was a major pain in the butt, okay? It's working good, but phew. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing the rest of them. Now that I have these other two done, these two ends done, the middle parts, I gotta measure because my chicken wire is 2 feet across. So I gotta make sure that I don't go any further than 2 feet. So I gotta measure that. All right, got these hoops done. That was harder than I expected. To be honest with you, it was harder than I expected. You can see on this camera back over here, the full view, I'll come at you right there. That was a bit harder than I expected. The problem comes into these down here, because they're not going straight up and down when they come in. It provides more for more tension, and because this basically turns to leverage to pull these screws out. So I had a devilish time getting them in and not ripping out. I ended up going to a 1-inch screw. If you're doing it, I think just make sure you use the longest screw you can. I think you'll be just fine. Because like I said, I had to go to a 1-inch screw, and these things are about 1 inch. The board's about 1 inch wide, so it was like right there on the cusp of busting through, but had just enough give to just be able to secure it into the wood. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. The next step here is to put the chicken wire on, and then we'll be close to being done. So once again, I don't know if I'll be doing the chicken wire right this second. So with the magic of editing, we'll skip right to when I'm actually doing it. So congratulations, you've made it, you've teleported, time traveled, blue, 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 blue. We're here now in the future, next weekend, where it's a bit grayer and a bit colder, but we're here. To get started with this section of the build, we're almost done, We got these materials that you'll need. Let me turn this on. You'll need some zip ties on these staplers, some kind of fencing. I'm using chicken wire for now. If you want to keep chickens in here full time, you're probably going to use something like hardware cloth and a skirt that goes around the base right here, comes out so animals can't dig under. So just keep that in mind that I'm using chicken wire because right now they they live in there, and this is just so they can dig my garden for me or fertilize it, till it up whenever I need them to. But if I ever get like some broilers or something that I want to keep in here, for weeks on end, then I'm going to have to get some hardware cloth, 1/2-inch hardware cloth, and redo the bottom portion of this. So keep that in mind when you build this, that if this is going to be a full-time thing for broilers or something, you're going to need to use hardware cloth, because chicken wire just ain't going to cut it. All right, so let's get started here with the fencing. So what I'm going to do is start down here at the base. I'm going to zip tie this section up, starting down here, and then I'll come back and staple in with our staple gun down here. That one. Up. Get a couple more here. Yeah. I'm just getting the basic one done so I can have some kind of structure here. So I know it's looking pretty floppy right now, but that's the reason for it. Although I guess I could go ahead and staple down here. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. All right, to cut the chicken wire, you might be able to use really sturdy shears, but what you'll need is some needle nose pliers. Usually have some wire cutters. And these will work fine for cutting the chicken wire. So that's what you're going to want to use to cut it. Like I said, you can probably get away with like using really sturdy shears, but just find some needle nose pliers, and they more often than not have wire cutters. Just gotta make sure I have the right amount of chicken wire. So there, come down to here. Yeah, that should be plenty. See, look how easy it cuts. Just bam, bam. Really easy, like butter. Oh my God, it's like butter. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but someone's over there leaf blowing. Now, it's just a matter of getting the rest of it zip tied and stapled. So let's do it. I do have some extra, but that's okay. You can always cut some more if you need to.
It has a tendency to flop around. So whenever we start connecting the two, we'll have to start making sure we zip tie them together so they don't do that. Something to keep in mind. Starting to take shape. Starting to take shape. Alright, so now that we've gotten the base one done, I'm gonna put this camera down, stop flopping around with it, and I'm just gonna get to work. And we'll be doing a, fast forward over here with a little time lapse or something, so we can just kind of burn through it. I'll see y'all in a bit. Before I go though, if this is being helpful or at least interesting to you, please do subscribe, hit the like button, comment below, and let me know that this is useful for you. That's why I make these videos, to try and be helpful where I can. So it's really appreciated. Subscribe, because I have these kind of videos. You can see other playlists, doing a variety of things, reviews on different outdoor stuff, as well as just farm stuff like this. Well, this is a suburban farm, but also farm stuff you can see, control burn, lots of different videos. So please do, do that. Anyway, let's get going and finish this up. Well, it's usable now. It's not completely finished, but I can get the chickens in there. So we can see how it's done. Have all the fencing secured-ish. I gotta finish stapling this down. But once I do that, I can get the chickens ready to go to come out here and play. You'll see in front as a door. Just for now, I've used this, which is just their fencing that I've cut. And what I could do is eventually just, I can trim it up around here so it's a bit prettier. I have it secured right now with a piece of extra wire.
But if I was going to actually do this for, like I said, for chickens that live in here, all this will be done with hardware cloth. I could still use this. In fact, if I was doing this for broilers or something, I would put this here as well as the back and secure it to the frame, and then, you know, trim it up to match up so that I have a sturdier back. But since it's just for them to come hang out and do, you know, chicken stuff in the dirt, get my garden ready for me, it didn't matter too much because this is just to keep them in, not necessarily to keep them safe at night. So it'll be fine for now. Whenever I get ready to do broilers though, I definitely will come back and, you know, trim everything up, make it more secure, and put in some hardware cloth. As well as, like I said before, doing a skirt right here so that predators can't dig in there. But I think though, for, you know, what it is, it's pretty dang good and easy to do ish. I think all in all, I have no idea how long this video is, so so we'll the time involved didn't take too much. I think all together I've spent I've spent under $100 on stuff. Well, actually no, the wire was $15, screws I already had, pipes were $20. So under 50 bucks, plus if you were to add in wood, if I was to buy the wood fresh, it would be about, you know, under 100 bucks. So, which is pretty nice for anyone who wants to actually recreate this at their house. So, you know, you can probably do it all for under 100 bucks. And it's good to know. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna go get everything cleaned up, and then I'll be right back to get the chickens out and see if they want to play. Ladies, here, look. In you go. Come on, y'all. Hey, no, sugar. Nope. Hey, y'all, hey. Come on. Brownie, come on. Brownie. Fine. Stay in there. It's usable. And they're in there, and they're poking around. Couldn't get Brownie in. I think either she's too smart or too dumb. I don't know. One or the other. But they're all in there, and they look at them. They're just having a big old time. Maybe if Liz was here, she could help me get Brownie in. But for now, you're just gonna have to be right there. Well, that's pretty neat. Anyway, if you've made it this far, oh, this is the thumbnail shot right here, probably. If you've made it this far, please do leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down if this has been helpful, if you've enjoyed seeing what's going on here. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I got some cleaning up to do, obviously, but you know, for now, this is pretty dang good, and I'm pretty happy with it. And I appreciate you hanging out with me and staying through the whole journey, because it's been, you know, several days, a week, 2 weeks, really getting all the materials and stuff. I mean, the actual build time is not very long, so. But I guess in conclusion, what you're going to need for this project is going to need wood, so you can go get pressure treated 2x4s will work for this. You're going to need screws, which I already had a bunch, so that wasn't an issue for me. You're going to need chicken wire or hardware cloth. If you're going to use it for broilers, be sure you get hardware cloth and some other kind of garden fencing for a skirt. Carolina Coops has a great video on you doing skirts, so go check them out. You're going to need screws, chicken wire, some kind of fencing, obviously the PVC, and then I'm using 1/2 inch PVC, so my little brackets were 1/2 inch pipe straps. I think that's what they're called. They're 1/2 inch pipe straps, so that's what I used to actually secure them down there. And then after that, I guess whatever you want to use for a door. You could even use the chicken wire for the door and just secure it down here if you want for the door. So that's an option. I just happen to use this because it's more secure. But you can build out from this. You can use this as a base for a lot of stuff. I mean, you could build up another layer, make it taller, build a walk-in. So this right here could be the base for a lot of different types of tractors and chicken coops for you to enjoy, you and your chickens to enjoy. Now, the one thing I will say about this is, look at them, is, you know, you can only fit so many chickens in there. I mean, it's not meant for a massive flock. We've got 6 total. Brownie's over there being, you know, being ornery, being emo. So for this kind of thing, it's 6 by 6, minus a few inches really for all the accoutrements. So you're looking at about 30 to 36 square feet. And if you're doing chickens like this, the most you really could, I mean, this is probably about the height, maybe eight chickens total in here comfortably. Broilers supposedly have I think it's 2 to 3 square feet for broilers, so you probably fit about a dozen in here. I think that's a rule of thumb. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's what it is. And so yeah, that's the end of this video. I appreciate you joining me on this journey. And if it was, like I said, once again, do subscribe if it was helpful. Leave a comment, let me know if it was helpful. I'm just a professional amateur, so to speak. So don't take any of this as me being the expert on it. I'm someone who's just like you, trying to figure out and learn as I go and share my experiences with you. And I appreciate you joining me for it. So take it easy.